Judy Rose, Chris Plonsky are with us, along with Julie Hermann, who is here for her first national interview since joining Rutgers. Welcome to all of you. Great to have you here. Judy, let me start with you. We just said 8% of athletic directors. Why are there so few women in leadership in sports?
Well, a lot of it, I think, is the old perception is still there that it's the retired football or basketball coach at a school, and that day has changed. You're seeing we run a business, and people understand that. And so I think that's part of the reason. I think the other is work-life balance for women is a little bit tougher to make that decision.
It would be interesting to know how each of you became an athletic director.
Chris?
It's certainly not the path. I was actually hoping to write for Sports Illustrated as a journalism major at Kent State, but I did work my way through school in the publicity office of athletics at Kent State, never dreaming that someday I could lead it to administration. But it was a lot of advocacy and a lot of opportunity provided by mentors who were both male and female that encouraged me to continue on the path.
And you, Julie?
Well, I thought I'd be a screenplay writer, so I thought I'd end up in Hollywood. And instead, I was encouraged by the people around me. I played volleyball at Nebraska, and my college coach encouraged me to go into coaching. And just all along the way, there have always been amazing people that have encouraged me to continue to coach and then to go into administration. And so there's just been a lot of support for the business. And so now, 25, almost 30 years later, it's just a privilege to do it.
What are the challenges for you? And are they in any way gender specific?
I wouldn't know, being this gender, and really for all three of us, we've been in this industry for so long and been part of the maleness of the industry, and so it's hard to know, what lens people are looking at you. But as far as we're concerned, we're, as Judy said, down to the business of college athletics and putting our student athletes first and trying to foster an environment in which they can live out their dreams, and just 100% focused on that.
The familiarity that we all received as participants at some level, some at an early era. Judy was a tremendous coach. Julie was a much better athlete. I feel like participation leads to passion, and what we all have right now is the passion that we serve for these young men and women who we get to see develop on a campus with access to higher education through their sport. They have a gift, but it's our job now to administer to those opportunities.
It's a great line, participation leads to passion.
Yeah, that's a great. What is the state of in terms of women in sports? You're athletic director, so you're responsible for both men and women and part of the whole athletic department. But in terms of women's participation in sports, there's a lot of talk too that even since Title IX, that despite those laws that are in effect, that you have few women in sports.
I think the numbers of women are slowly increasing in administration. We would like to see those numbers be higher, but I think we got some information just yesterday that there's been a 42% increase in either promotions of women in intercollegiate athletics. And so I think there are 3 new athletic directors that are females at 1A institutions, and so that's very important to us. Again, I think that just given the opportunity, and if people will look through the lens, I was asked the question earlier, what's the difference in a female athletic director and a male athletic director? I said, well, the characteristics are the same.
Yeah.
It's like when you hire a coach.
Get the job done.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah. Winning is winning. How about women's sports? Are they? What's happening in women's sports in universities around the country?
Well, I think the good news is that Title IX is working. We do have increased opportunities, and because of that, we're watching a lot of athletes become coaches and then become administrators. And so, for me, that's been the path all the way through. And part of our enthusiasm, in particular at Rutgers, is we have the opportunity to join the Big Ten come July 1. And the Big Ten's been a fantastic leader in opportunities for women, especially in their women's sports and their women's administrators. And so I think great things are happening, and I think the numbers are slowly, as Judy said, starting to come because Title IX not only is in existence, but it's been enforced and reinforced. And so we're starting to make headway.
Can I ask you about Rutgers, because you took over after the previous athletic department at Rutgers was fired under a lot of controversy, accused of abusive behavior. How was that?
Well, it wasn't fun. When you step into something where there's that much blood in the water, and the New Jersey media in particular likes to keep controversy going around Rutgers. But it's an opportunity to, as we said, create a best-in-class environment for our student athletes. And that's all this has ever been about for me and for all of us, is to just create an environment in which our kids can flourish. And we have a lot of work to do as we get ready for the Big Ten. It's an extraordinary opportunity for a fantastic academic institution, and we're absolutely focused on that.
How do you create that environment?
That's 10,000 details. It's 10,000, things it takes to create a championship culture where you're fostering their academic success, their athletic success, and really preparing them to be great citizens that will leave our campus and be great contributors out there in life. It takes a whole village to get that done.
What would you change about college sports?
Well, I would like to change the maturity level of the student athletes when they come into our program. They've been raised or reared in a certain environment, and there's still a lot of parental involvement, believe it or not, on the collegiate level and contact. So I would change that if we could do that, because when they come to us, it's our responsibility to develop them totally, not just as athletes. It's our responsibility to make sure they're on path to graduate and that they do become productive citizens. And so
I'd like to change the perception that college athletics exists as some path toward professionalism. What college athletics is really about is to advance young people with an education. And if so, and they're talented enough in their sport, so be it. But most of our young men and women are pursuing careers in media, communications, medicine, science. And it's really, again, that higher educational component that is undersung compared to the exploits on the fields and on the courts.
It's great to meet all of you.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.